Up next, we're going to talk about how to keep your quarterback out of interception danger. And my example for this is, we've all experienced it. You're about to throw a pass in game, and you throw it, and before you even throw it, before you even finish throwing the ball, you already know the pass is going to be intercepted. That's kind of what I'm talking about here when it comes to keeping your quarterback out of interception danger. So a good example of this is to never trail your receiver in the progression that your receiver's routes are running. You always want to lead the receiver where your eyes are. So a good example of this from the article, it talks about how a computer scans the field. So a computer would start left to right, and they're kind of scanning and looking at every single option on the field, whereas our eyes, as being humans, we actually jump from object to object. So we kind of miss a lot of everything in between. So we go from object to object on the screen or on the field in real life, and we miss everything in between. So this can become a problem when you are trailing a receiver rather than leading receiver in terms of your route progression. So let's take a look at what that would actually mean. So in this first example, we're going to show you an example of a trailing read. And what the trailing read is, we have Cedric Benson out of the backfield running an angle pattern, and then we have our A receiver in the right slot running a drag. So Cedric Benson is going to run an angle out of the backfield. I'm first going to look at him and see if I have an open option to him, and if he's not, then I'm going to fall off that route, and I'm going to try and fit the ball into Finley as he's running across field. So I'm snapping the ball, I'm looking at Benson, and now I throw to Finley, and the results of that are poor. So why? I guess the question is why, you might be wondering. So let's take a look at what's actually happening with this play. So now at the snap of the ball, you're going to zoom in on Cedric Benson. So if you're thinking at the snap of the ball right here, I'm Aaron Rodgers, and I know I want to go to Benson. That's my read. I see at the snap of the ball, I see the middle linebacker drop, and I know I might have a nice one-on-one option here with Benson in the slot defender. So at snap of the ball, my eyes are right glued on Cedric Benson. So now when Finley's running his route, I now see that Benson's not open. So now when I go to move to Jeremichael Finley, my eyes jump from Benson, who is covered by the slot defender, to Finley, who, if you literally look at what's on the field right now, what I see is this. I don't see anything to the left, and as you can see, it's represented. I don't know what's on the left side of the field. There could be a spy defender there. There could be anything could be there. I don't know, but the way my eyes are jumping in this progression are from Benson to Finley, and I have no idea what's actually in front of Finley. So when we pan the camera back around, now you can see that it looks like open space, but I wait, and now I jump to Finley. And here's where the problem can come when you result when you are actually playing this style of passing game, is when you're trailing and not leading. I throw the pass to Finley, and yes, that defender is late, but I mean, he meets Finley right when he catches the ball. So that can be a problem where if I'm even a half a second later with that throw, that defender could make the play. He could get a hit stick fumble. I mean, you're asking for problems when you are trailing your receiver and you're trailing your read. So let's take a look at what we could do to improve that. So let's run the same defense. We're going to run everything else the same behind it. But this time, I'm going to use Randall Cobb on the drag and put him on the drag side towards the Benson route. So now I'm going to look at Benson and snap the ball. Here he is. And now I lead Cobb into space that I'm already looking at. So I know there's no defender. I have no worry that Cobb or bad things could happen. And if bad things do happen, it's my fault because now I can see. So let's take a look let's try and represent what we can see here on the field. So snap of the ball. Cedric Benson's going out on his route. Here he is on his route. I can see, okay, I'm looking right about there. I can see that there's not much going on. Now he's cutting over the middle of the field. I don't want him there. And now let's look at the difference of what we see and how this affects our passing game. Now the underneath drag, instead of going away, instead of trailing my vision and my progression on the field, I now see that Randall Cobb is cutting over the middle of the field. he's going to run into open space. And look at how much more of the field I can see. Look at how much more I can tell what's going on. I have 4 receivers in my window right here. It's because I have set this play up to show and to lead my receivers with my route progression rather than to trail. So that's what we're talking about. As you can see, I lead the pass into Cobb. He catches it. He's able to brace himself. I'm able to cover the ball, and I pick up big yards. So this is something that you need to work on. It's not going to happen instantly, but as you get the hang of it, you're going to kind of start noticing the difference between trailing a receiver and leading a receiver. And you got to get into practice mode to really get an understanding of what I mean by this, because you can see it and you can understand it visually, but until you actually physically do it, you're not going to have that aha moment. So that's why I want you to do it, is that you can do it, have that aha moment, and then you'll be able to really understand how you can expand your offense from something so simple and something that's so simple and so easy to do that it's going to take your offense to the next level.